Welcome to another edition of Indie Advocates Presents Kickstarter Talk for December 27th. My name is Mr. Anderson, and you can follow me at MRANDERSIN.com and find out what's going on with the Indie Devil and the Unboxable Advocating Creator all in one stop. Let's find out what's on Indie Advocates today. And remember that on this show, we give 1 minute to every Kickstarter. But then if a creator shows up or does something special, they get more time. Keep that in mind. $1 show support attracts attention, help funds projects, create new worlds, and supports creators. So give $1 to a Kickstarter today. And if you're building a Kickstarter, find out from the best amongst us. Find out what to do from Kickstarter for the Independent Creator 2nd Edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding by Madeline Holly Rising, illustrated by Christian Shin. Available now on Kickstarter. And if you're looking for more information on how to create amazing indie projects and indie comic books, please check out the must-read readers list from the Creative Process. And here are our featured Kickstarters. We're going to start the program off today with Racy Star. 1 minute on the clock, and we shall begin. Okay, and now this is a silent one, so we're not going to hear a lot. See a lot of butt right there. I don't know what happened to the music. I believe there's music. It's just, I honestly am not muting it. It is here. Let's see. Racy Star Adventures through the Revolutionary Roads to Racy's. I can't keep up. I can read it, but I can't read it out loud. It's just too fast. All right. Now, this is going to end on the 29th, which means we're literally down to the 48-hour mark. So don't wait. If this is something you like, write down the name. You'll find it in our program heading. Five seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Oh, yeah. All right. So I'm going to quickly run over here. I'm going to drop the link for you guys to see and just do a lens check. Lens check. Yeah, we're good. I remember we're filming this live on YouTube for an alternative camera angle, but they're all the Kickstarters, so you know where they are. Adjust the camera ever so slightly so you guys get a better view of what we're talking about today. I'm just going to raise that up, drop it down, and there we go. And then let's just straighten it out for you fine folks. All right. There's a power cord on it, so it's instantly trying to not be straight. But let's continue with the program. We got exciting stuff coming in the end part of the show. This is Jump Into the Ring. The Ring of Kickstarter by clicking here for the Rock and Roll Express. Come on, why isn't it playing? Come on. There we go.
Hello, I'm Ricky Ford, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, and I'm here to explain to you the new Kickstarter campaign to put together of the authorized biography comic book miniseries, The Rock and Roll Express.
Because the Rock and Roll Express is the best. There's only one R&R right here, baby. And it is the Rock and Roll Express. Woo! And we love you.
In 2017, the World Wrestling Entertainment Hall of Fame was transformed into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, were inducted. Now, the true life stories of these tag team legends are revealed in their new comic book from the creators of the Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Bruno Sammartino comics. Our comic is fully authorized by the Rock and Roll Express and based on actual interviews with Ricky and Robert by wrestling historian and writer John Crawford. He and artist Rich Parada
On to our next exciting project. You can find the rest of it on there. Here is Guardians of Elroth. I believe this is still, yeah, until the 31st. Be a Guardian on Kickstarter. Click here. And this, we don't need it. It's only 1 minute and 4 seconds, so go for it. Hey, Chuck, you got the code. You can come on, too, tonight. We're talking about Broke Down. All right, guys, let's move on to the next amazing project, which is Guinevere and the Divine and the Divinity Factor. Let's give him 1 minute clock. Are we getting auto start or no? No, we're not. Come on, Kickstarter. This is on you.
I'm writer and creator Preston Poulter, the one who brought you White Lily, the story of the 2 deadliest female fighter pilots in history. And judging by the reaction I get from fans at the comic shows I do, my next story is going to be even bigger. Guinevere and the Divinity Factory. Our story opens with Guinevere, who's an apprentice wizard entering a palatial estate. There's a massive flapper party going on, but she's not here for the party. She's here to meet the patron wizard, the master of the house, Francis Gatz. Imagine combining Harry Potter and the Great Gatsby, and you get an idea of the world that results in Guinevere and the Divinity Factory. To help bring this story to life, I commissioned Juliet Kita, whose likeness I used for the character of Guinevere, together with her husband Nathan, in order to act out the 2 lead roles in the opening scene of the comic book, set to the music of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy in a music video. We have some wonderful perks for people who back our crowdfunding campaign. We've got the comic book, we've got the music video, we've got fantastic art. I've commissioned a variant cover. It's beautiful. It's only available to people who back this crowdfunding effort. I look forward to all of my returning customers, as well as the many new ones that I'm going to meet.
Now, I let that fully play out because in the middle of it, I had to resend the code to Travis. Code I sent him, I guess, didn't go through. So hopefully he's going to be with us soon. So Chronicles of the Villains. And Chuck, you can come on. I'm sure Travis doesn't care. I don't. Chronicles of the Villains is going to get 1 minute because I promise not to interfere. Hopefully. Not planning to. Come on. Share your stuff, Kickstarter. And there we go. And the villains came in just under time. And this is Bad Sushi Cannon. And once again, I believe this plays music.
I'm Mitchell, and we are co-creators of an irreverent little comic book called Bad Sushi Cannon.
Bad Sushi Cannon is the culmination of over 30 years of love for both the science fiction and comedy genres. It centers around 3 main characters: Bang Foley, captain of the ship Karma Chimera, and his best mate, Eddie, and the ship's mechanic, Sam. They are intergalactic repo men. These issues are their chronicled misadventures through a dangerous and often stupid universe in search of their next repossession mark. From space stations at the edge of sanity to planets inhabited by theme park robots gone wrong to Chinese restaurants, these characters run clueless through the cosmos, surviving by their wits and luck. Mostly luck. We hope you have as much fun reading these stories as we have making them. We made this comic with love for comics. Enjoy.
All right, Travis, I know you're in the background. We're almost going to bring you on live. because we're almost there. Just hang out a minute. I'm watching you. We can't play this trailer because it does have actually copyrighted music, but we encourage you to check it out. Leave the Light On is going to get 1 minute on our clock. If it ever starts. There it goes.
Light. My name is Bradley Golden. I'm the creator and co-writer with George Aguilar and with artist Alex Darby. This actual book is a remake of a book I did 2 years ago and I put on Comixology. The artwork wasn't really that great, so I decided that my fans needed better artwork and better story, pretty much. You know, everything has been redone. Instead of 4 issues, it's going to be 3 issues. Instead of black and white, I'm going full color with this book. Now, there is an option to get this book in black and white. That's going to be in the here in the reward section. But yeah, thank you for stopping in. You know, the book is pretty much about.
All right, and you get the expanded universe of Absolute Comics now available on Indiegogo. And here we go. It's time to talk about The Advocator. On the show live this evening, we have the man himself, Travis Gibb, who looks like you have a man bun going on just because of the background. I think that's Vader's helmet. Just goes right top of your head. But I was like, did you do a man bun for this? So what's going on, Travis? Talk to us.
Nothing, man. Like just working on The Advocator, working on Dog Days, working on everything. There's a lot of projects going on, a lot of things happening, a lot of irons in the fire as we finish up 2018.
Well, why don't we start with what's currently on? That would be
what's up?
The Advocator. So now, one of the things that we have that you never did for your Broke Down Kickstarter, even though I told you to, but I'm going to hold you to it tonight just to make things interesting. We're going to do the 7 reasons to back your campaign.
Okay.
We're going to do it live, unrehearsed, some good questions that you can answer about the project, and we'll go live to it, and you can see the questions as we read them. All right, so this is the 7 reasons to back this Kickstarter. I'm going to try to put all the creators through this who are part of this. Here we go. Why do you feel you need Kickstarter to help launch your project, and will your goal, if reached, cover all the creative costs?
Why do we need Kickstarter? Kickstarter is where each of us were founded. So all of our 5 stories that are in this anthology for Advocator Presents all came from Kickstarter. They were all funded on Kickstarter. This is our audience. This is where our audience lives. This is our diamond distributor. So yeah, we need it for that purpose, and also to make it so there's no cost. We want no cost for the creators. So we want to make sure they can have some books, have them in print, and that allows us to do that if we reach our goal.
Now, just expand on that for a minute. What do you mean that the creators won't have any costs? What does that mean to the people who don't know?
Yeah, so making comics is expensive, and I'm relatively new at it. I did it way back in the day, but I haven't done it in 2018. It's a very different world, and having one book at the table will not make table. Making table is a industry term that means that if you went to a con and you made your money back for a table, you did good. Well, people who have one book is not going to be able to do that, and that doesn't mean that their dream should give up. So what we've done is we've created this piece, this Advocator, to send it out to people and allow them to have another book on their table that not only has one of their stories in, but it also has other awesome creators from all over the world. Awesome creators who have backers from all over the world. So it's very possible that when I have this book, someone who's a Connor fan who loves Grimwood Crossing, or someone who's a Chuck fan who loves Welcome to the Void, may come up to me, see this book, and go, wow, I've always been looking for this issue. So it's something to seek after. It's like our long box, per se, for indie creators.
I absolutely agree. And for those who don't know, because Travis didn't mention it, he's the project manager behind this.
Oh, yeah, I am. Well, that would be a great answer for the next one.
Well, yeah, we'll see. What's the next question then? Let's go to that and see about that. How did the creative team behind this Kickstarter come together? So go for it, Travis.
That was me. I'm the project manager. That's it. That's all you get.
That's it. Okay, next question.
So what happened is a couple of different things. One, I had a problem. I had a creative problem. I needed to get more books on my table. I became friends with Rob. Rob had a platform. His platform is the platform we're on right now. And, Rob had really wanted to do an anthology. He'd met a lot of great creators over the years. I had started making great reputations with people. But what the comic industry, and especially Kickstarter, didn't need, in my opinion, was another anthology, another group of creators that come together for some project. I mean, not that anthologies are bad. I mean, especially ones that help organization or bring awareness to stuff like homelessness or alcoholism or sex trafficking or anything of that nature. Those are amazing. So I'm not talking about those, but some people just do it because it's Halloween or, whatever their reason for it. So what we decided to do is create an anthology that allows a creator's brands to have a voice. So kind of like first shots from Image, where you get, a few little segments of each of their trades. So you know what you're going to get. So you know which Image comics you want to buy, because there's a lot of good books out there. So that's what we kind of put together. That's how the creative team came together. Now, my particular piece, which is Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies. Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies is a tale of two guys break down on the side of the road. They have gangsters all around the world looking for them, hunting them down. They're trying to get themselves out of that situation. I decided when that project first came to be, a guy named Stephen Preston out of Australia, he drew it for me. He decided to jump on board, and for whatever reason, I don't remember the reason, it wasn't going to be a good fit. Maybe he couldn't do the production schedule, but he gave me 5 pages. And then I realized that if I put 4 of those pages together, I could make a really nice story here and expand the universe. So this is kind of a flashback tale of Denver and Randy, the 2 main characters, in Denver's first job, seeing how the world looks and kind of giving a little bit more explanation. A couple of those characters that are being used will be used in future things, some of the new characters that are added. So I think it's kind of a neat little piece, and I think people really, really dig it.
Well, I love the fact that you're actually redoing some, not even redoing, but repurposing is a better word, art that might not have ever seen the light of day. So that is a fantastic thing, and something that other creators should keep in mind for the future. But for our next question, we have, what do you believe separates your Kickstarter from the thousands of other Kickstarters out there?
What separates us? What separates us is we are not one creator. We are 5 creators who are individually promoting our brands. Each of our creators have our own successful brands. Welcome to the Void, Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies, Grimwood Crossing, Joseph's Dr. Orange, and for this it's Mary Viz, Modern Testament. Those are all tried and true, trusted brands that have already came out, that already have books, that are building fan bases. So what makes us different is we're bringing those together with no ownership. We're bringing all these together so you can try it. If you've been looking at us and looking at our Kickstarters and trying to figure out, hey, should I fund this? This is a great opportunity. So go ahead and fund this. Buy a single issue. Buy the issue. I don't care if you buy the digital. Get a little sampling of the universes that are there and try it out. Oh, and I forgot Binary Star, which is really sad because Jamie is fantastic. She's been killing it. She just started chapter 10 of her book, and it's amazing. So that's what separates us as the creators with their franchises coming to you right into your lap, into your living room at a low cost.
It's actually a perfect answer for that one. Let's see. Is this Kickstarter the start of something bigger, or is this a must-have one shot? So tell the audience, is this building towards something bigger, or is this just a one-off of a couple creators coming together like most anthologies honestly are?
Really, we'd like this to be a revolution. The people who are on Kickstarter believe that Kickstarter is a really, really good distributed platform. It's a platform for us to get to creators to give our creations life and help people get involved and get comics. So we plan for this to be bigger. We've committed, Rob, myself, and Chuck, is the team. We've committed to doing this year at least. That's 4 issues of this book. And each of them will come out every season. But we'd like to expand that next year to even more creators and more options. And as long as we keep getting 4-page stories, we'll keep doing it, you know. And we may even change out and maybe 6-page stories in the future. But right now we kept it small, we keep it intimate, and we do it. So it is something bigger. But that being said, what's cool about it, it is a must-have one-shot. So if you are a fan of Broke Down, you must have this for your collection. It's something you must have. It has an exclusive cover, so these are must shots. So on some level, it fits both.
Now the cover, can you get that off of Kickstarter?
No. Once the Kickstarter is done, I mean, some of the creators, individual creators, may have some that they're selling individually, but you're going to have to go to that creator and come and hunt them down. But yeah, you're not going to be able to get that. The only thing that the creators are going to be reprint after their initial printing is the regular cover. And we'll give for collectors markets. We're going to give you guys all those statistics when it's done. And let you know. In fact, we'll probably put them on the cover. Actually, that's probably a good idea. We should probably put that on the cover of how many we printed.
That's not a bad idea.
Of each of that, and then they can handwrite, you know, how many copies.
All right. Are the stretch goals important to your project?
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're really. In this one, I don't think we really wanted to focus on stretch goals at all, to be honest. We just want to make the goal and everything after that. This go around, I don't think we really ever talked about stretch goals being important, honestly.
Yeah, the stretch goals aren't as important as funding. So our goal is to fund, and any additional money that we get will be used to help get more copies to the creators. It'll help get more of those covers out to the public. But it'll also hold on, how to say this? Stretch goals are an important thing when we're building a Kickstarter, but they become the end all be all, right? Keep funding us so I can give you something else. That's not our goal. But you know what? We do have an issue 2 that's lined right up, where we could take 4 pages and move it over if we did really well. There's things that we can do to make this book more if we get to that stretch goal point, but that's not our goal right now. Our goal is to give you the best product that you can get right now. And that's where we're at. But there is some stuff, some secret stuff that will come out if we get to that, but it's not important to the project in any way.
Jeff Weber says that the Advocator reminds him of Dark Horse Presents, and I remember you actually mentioning that in one of our conversations.
Yeah, it absolutely is like a Dark Horse Presents. It's kind of got that feel, because Dark Horse Presents, it was kind of cool as you could have aliens and Star Wars in the same book. So yeah, in that respect, it absolutely is like that, and it is called the Advocator Presents because it is about that, and especially when you look at this site, the Indie Advocates, website, it's really about these people who are being advocated for on the regular basis, coming together and putting together a product and something that we're all proud of. Our goal is to have the stories in this is the first time you see them. That we want you to see these things for the first time, that nobody else has seen them. So we're giving these to the audience, fresh and new perspective, little webisodes, as you like to call them.
Well, I came up with a cooler one. They're the comic book equivalent to episodes. They're comic-sodes.
Oh.
So if you saw this project, pretending it wasn't something that you were part of, would you think of it? What would you think of it, and how would you react to it, and would you back it? And if so, why?
I already did.
All right.
I backed it for the $25 level, and it's not to make it fun. It's because I care about these other creators, and that's the only way I can get their covers. Seriously, I'm not going to go through mine so I can get one cover of this and that and that. I'm not going to do that to Kraken. No, I backed it to get their covers because I funded Welcome to the Void. I funded Modern Testament. I funded Dr. Orange. I funded Grimwood Crossing. I helped support these creators and gave them money. So I believe in their passion. I believe in these stories, and I want them to complete my my collection. So absolutely, I would fund this. And I think it's silly that if you aren't a creator, why you would do this. Why you wouldn't fund this, Sorry, I got a text at the same time. Why you wouldn't fund this? Like this is a opportunity for you, and building this brand will help you. And there's no cost. So if you're a creator and you see this, you're like, wow, that's a really good idea. We want you to do 2 things. 1, fund it. And funding can be as low as $1. Like, we're not talking about a lot, but pitch in, show that you actually care about it and don't want to just use the platform. And I'm not saying that to get your money. I'm just trying to say that as a representation. Like, show that you actually believe in this, because you believing it is with your money, with your dollar. 2, create a 4-page story, submit it to us. We'll try to get you in. Simple as that. It's not complicated. That's it. We'll tell you the rules and stuff. We have development pages. We have recruitment pages that you can kind of look at to get an idea of what it's about. But that's it.
Now, when you back it, talk about that backing process, and more specifically, who's going to be fulfilling the backing?
So that is going to be Kraken Press. So we're going to use Kraken the first time around. Not saying we're going to use them forever, but for this one, we're going to use Kraken. So they're going to print, they're going to distribute, they're going to distribute to not only us, but to the creator, to the backers. So everything's going to be handled by them. So we are taking zero money. The minute this money comes into our account, it literally gets signed over to Kraken, and they're going to do the best they can to use that money as much as they can.
All right, all right. What is the inspiration behind this project?
For me, it was the Marvel and DC. So Marvel and DC have done a great job over the years of coming out with these little books that don't really give you too much information, but they give you tastes of the new series that are coming out for the next year. So after a Civil War, there'll be this one shot. It'll be called Civil War After Effects. Actually, let's even use a better one. So shut that dog up, Chuck, or whoever has a dog.
That's actually mine. It was his, and then it set off my dog. I actually Chuck, so the dog wouldn't upset my dog. I was just texting him that, and then sure enough, my dog went crazy.
Right. All right. So let's go back on this. So Infinity Wars just ended. So that's a great Marvel crossover that just happened. I use great in parentheses. It was a crossover that happened, that things happened in. So the next thing is called Guardians Fallen. And in that will be a teasers of the new Guardians territory that's coming out and the new Warlock series that's coming out. So they kind of give you hints of what's coming in 2019 and get you kind of excited and get you kind of involved. So that's what the inspiration of this was, is taking that idea that's working for the big two, because Marvel does it, DC does it, Image does it. All of them do it. So it has to work. So we're taking that and bringing it to Kickstarter, bringing it to that audience who deserves to have it and deserves to be part of this.
All right. And finally, you got through the 7 great reasons. Give us the pitch in your own words, and we'll see if we can get Chuck to come on. For some reason, I can't get him to unmute, but we'll bring on Chuck at the end of it. But give us the, in your own, pretend we're at the table. This is always awesome live. We walked up to the table. You're selling us the comic book. How would you sell us the Applicator? Go.
So if you're coming up to my table, I can assume that I've sold you Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies, because why would you not buy it? It's an amazing book. So to continue, I'd be like, if you need more of this story, so let me tell you about The Advocator. The Advocator is a great book with lots of indie creators. There's a broke down story in here to continue to tell that tale to you. But I also got a lot of other great creators that are here at this con or at other cons that you may be attending. We've got Welcome to the Void from Chuck. It's a great story and the mystery and wizardry and Into the Void and all that crazy nonsense. You're going to learn a lot from that. Binary Star, great science fiction tale with an expanding universe. It continues. Modern Testament, a take on biblical stories in modern day, and these are not for your light at heart Christians. And then Mary Revives, a story of revenge, story of getting your 7. That's a 2-parter, so you're going to need issue 2 for that. And last but not least, we have Grimwood Crossing. Grimwood Crossing is a Western Walking Dead crossover type of thing, where you've got these Red Dead Redemption guys just coming around how to deal with the supernatural. If you don't pick up this book, you're insane.
So I absolutely love that kind of idea. I can't wait to have it at my table, and this has been one of the most fun projects for me to promote that I'm technically running. And we're only doing it where the person not involved in the book is running it on purpose to show there's no favoritism. So I'm not leaning towards anyone's welcome to come on the show. You guys are on the show a little bit more because you're easier access to me. A couple of the other guys are a little busy. We've invited them. We even had Connor on the other day during one of the shows.
Oh, cool.
anyone's always able to be here. And speaking of which, Chuck is now joining us.
What up?
Chuck?
Yeah, we just found out that Frank does mountain rescue.
Yeah, January 1st. He can't be.
Yeah. Ski Patrol Rescue.
I'm sorry, you're ski patrol rescue. You're too good for us.
You're going to save someone's life and not be on a podcast? What's wrong with you?
It is.
All right.
Let them die. So, Chuck, talk to the media is starting to pick up. Like, we're starting to get noticed with this project with different media outlets. Talk to them about where you guys are going on January 1st. Where are you going to be?
We're going to be on Multiverse Maidens. We're going to be doing a podcast. So far, it's just Travis and I, but trying to see who I can pick up to go to that. And yeah, we're going to be talking about The Advocator. I love podcasts, being on them. I'm a bit of a media whore, so I've just started to kind of talk to my friends and say, "Hey, man, can we talk about this?" And I'm going to keep it up and see what kind of a blitz we can get going.
Now, we have some other media attention coming to us from other locations. We're just trying to get dates down. I know, Travis, you're about to start a real blitz. You're actually a creator on a new title that you kind of inherited, and that's going to Kickstarter right in about a week's time from now, even less.
Yeah, January 2nd. So we got 6 days until that launch. But I mean, because of that, I'm going to be doing a lot of press. And what's cool about it, so let me tell you, and Chuck doesn't even know this is going to be a surprise. So one of the greatest podcasts for Kickstarters to be on is called Spoiler Country.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. And I said, hey, I have Dog Days and I have The Advocator. I'd love to get on your show. And they're like, you know what? We'll give Advocator a full show. But Dog Days, we're going to give it a little tagline. We're going to do a little thing with it, but we really want to give that its own show. So yeah, Spoiler Country wants us, so we're going to figure out when that's going to happen in the next couple of days.
That's badass.
Elegant Weapon, I'm going to be on that, promoting The Advocator and this project. I'm also going to be on Nerd Nation. I think I'm going to try to pull you on for that, Chuck, too, if we can line that up where both of us are on that. But yeah, man, we've got some media blitz coming on. Lots of things happening in the next week or so as we get this stuff up. I've already got Connor working on getting us on on Bleeding Cool.
Now, aren't we also supposed to be doing something with Tyler James?
Yeah, at the first of the year, we're supposed to message him. I think he's on vacation right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he wants the project developers to talk about that for Comics Tribe. This is a big deal, guys, and we're not trying to say that as a fluff piece. This is this could be genre changing for Kickstarter if we do this right. And we have kept everything above board, guys. We have done our best. We tried to pick Rob, Chuck, and myself have all made sure we are beyond reproach and trying to make sure that we have great integrity. We tried to make sure we have no bad blood, and that we try to make sure that everything we've done is to make sure this is right. And we're trying to make sure that Kraken handles everything, so nothing comes to us. There's no financial gain for us because we want this to be pure. We want this to help you create. I want people to have this in their pockets, have them at their table. I want when Chuck does Welcome to the Void 2 or Welcome to Void 1, that he has the Advocator to add on to his package, so he now has a $15 or $20 package that he can sell. And so he's not stuck at a lower response. Same thing with me. When I do Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies #2, I'm going to be able to add this onto packages to help sell it for those who doesn't get it. So this is going to help us create and do stuff. And then we're going to wrap it into issue 2. Issue 2 is lined up with amazing creators. I have almost all the art created right now. So we are going to kill it, man. I'm super excited about it.
Now, Chuck, as the guy who's been part of this, and basically even back when it was just the original Written Sins thing, what do you think of the evolution? We and Travis were talking about, what do you think about the evolution of the project? Like, as the person who's been watching, and you even mentioned earlier in the day when you saw me and Travis kind of going back and forth with each other about ideas, how honest they were. They weren't trying to kiss each other's ass. We were trying to make the best product, which meant feelings weren't something me and Travis were worried about. And we were both professionals, so we understood that we could take that kind of heat. You've seen a lot of the background stuff. What do you think about it?
It was almost comical because you guys came at each other with kind of no holds barred, but it was never hurtful. You were never like, it was never personal. It was always, you know, like, nah, man, this is ugly. Like, no, this doesn't work. No, this is cluttered. You know, and like, it was always, you know, you cut right to it. There was no bullshit. There was no like, well, no offense. No sentence ever started with no offense. It was right in there. Like, nope, this isn't gonna work. This is why. Blah blah blah. Cool. And the person who was on the receiving end was usually like, it was either, oh, okay, or, well, I don't agree, but let's, you know, like, let's ask Chuck or let's ask somebody else, or, you know. So I really like that a lot. I'd like to take that into my everyday life.
Now, I would ask, going into where we're finally done with issue 1, I just wanted to know how much Travis was paying you to side with him more. I was just, what did it take? What was the buy-off? What did Travis buy Chuck with?
Well, I'm coming out to Florida in the near future, and there was some favors offered. Ready Player One, what's up?
Now, one of the
Player Two, let's go.
One of the things I do want to talk about, and this has been amazing for everyone across the board, how easy this came together with no egos getting.
Stupid easy.
Like, there was, at the very beginning, we had a little bit of an ego problem, and me and Travis we talked about it right on the phone, and we were like, we can't afford an ego player. There can be no one on this project whose ego is bigger than the project.
Yeah.
And who shows up and is like, well, I'm going to tell you what we need to do, are the first people out the door. We thank them for their time and go, nope, you're not going to fit, because we didn't want anything weird. And I remember there was a point where me and Travis had to talk about a content of a certain issue. And I'm not going to say what happened, but you actually talked about it earlier in the day, Chuck, whether or not that would be okay to have it with the other creators. And we had to have a long talk about that. Like, how do we handle this? Because we always looked at this as a project where me and Travis didn't control it. We were the ones building it, but it wasn't ours to build. It was someone else's house. We had to constantly check in with the group. And I think we've been real easy with the group. The group has not cared about anything that we did. They've given us a lot of trust and a lot of room.
It's been a very chill group for sure.
Yeah. And it's a great start. And I think that's credit to Travis bringing all this talent together. People are excited. I see him sharing it. I see him talking about it. So how did you bring that group together? Like, how did you, I know that in private, more or less, why you've done certain things, but can you explain some of that to the audience who's watching? That is
Yeah. Well, let's do a couple of things here. Before I get to that, and why it's still early in the video, I want to say this. So every week for the next 6 weeks, we're going to have one of the creators have a spotlight. This week's mine. So if you back my cover by the end of the day for this video, so you have a chance to see it by the end of the day, if you back my cover, I'm going to throw in an actual physical copy of Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna send you that. So that's gonna be free of charge, and you'll get that the minute you do it.
And let's cover. Now, you want them to back your cover though? It has to be specific.
Oh yeah, it has to be my cover. Yeah, you have to. It has to be me. It can't just be the project. No, it's got to be me.
Hold on. Would the 6 covers count?
Yeah. Because my cover's in there.
Okay, so if you guys have to do the 35, I believe, right? 35.
35 or the 20.
Or the 20. Now, we're also talking about, we haven't fully committed to this, but in the next couple of days, you guys are probably going to see another reward tier come up that's going to be around, I think we said $45 with all the issue number 1s attached to it.
Yeah, we've talked about that. We're just trying to figure out a way to do that. And again, make sure that quality happens. So we're making sure that Kickstarter can send those out. So we're just trying to figure that out and what that looks like. But either way, there may be some smaller tiers that we can guarantee will happen. But we'll figure it out. I actually sent them a message today to ask them a couple of questions. So hopefully they'll get back to me and we'll have some new rewards. We also want to do a retail reward. So if you're a realtor or retail and you want to do this, we'll let you know. And what we'll do with that retail award, that may come with individual connections for each of the creators if they want to order books at a discount. So I may get an order sheet from everyone of how much our books cost so they can order those for their store as well. So it's going to be cool. We've got some ideas, but we just got to get to further ahead than we are now.
I agree with you on that. All right, Chuck, talk to us about this $250 reward. What's that about?
That's so funny that you mentioned that, because when I set up the interview with the maidens, that was the one she jumped on right away, and she said, "We gotta talk about this $250 one because that is cool." And I agree fully. And basically, what it is that for $250, you get the books, you get all that stuff, you know, schwagadelic, and then you get me, you, and Travis all together on a project to help you out. Each of us putting our strengths in there. Rob and I would help with editing. Rob would do mostly story editing. I would help out with some story editing and with some with all the proofreading and all that kind of background editing stuff. And then Travis would probably jump in on that too, but he would mostly be about the marketing, and he would help you market your project and everything and make it happen.
Yeah. So that is the other thing that we threw in there, which was really cool, is we're going to get an original piece of art done for you. One of the benefits of Chuck, myself, and Rob is we have a great reputation. So we can get things at a lot cheaper rate than you can. And we're not trying to say that to brag. We've earned our keep. We've helped people. We've done stuff for people. And we're going to use that influence to help you get a cover. And you may not be able to choose who it is. We may get something, but it's going to give you something else to help add to your campaign, because we want to help you get funded. So whatever that takes is, so we're going to advise you on how to get funded, because we all have funded projects.
And I can't stress enough how $250 is an amazing deal because of the ability for Travis and his marketing plan that he can give you. I mean, it's literally what he does. Chuck is an editor, and I literally have people constantly asking me how to improve their stories. And, you know, also knowing how to promote it. You're getting something, and we did this. I don't think that we would have ever offered this outside the Advocator for so low. Literally, this is probably $1,000 thing, because we're willing to commit to you throughout 2019 and be there for you.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time and energy coming from us when we have other things going on, including 3 more issues of the Advocator. So, I mean,
well, and you got to think of the benefit that you didn't say that about you, Rob. Like, you have the inside scoop on what cons to go to, where to con. So you're going to save so much more money by spending that $250. Rob has been to most of the cons, especially on the East Coast. And if he hasn't been on them, he does reviews and knows which ones are what. So you can save yourself a lot of money by doing that. In fact, he could even make calls on your behalf, maybe, to help you get different rates on cons, or maybe if you can't get into a con, he knows a lot of these people and can maybe help you out to get you to where you need to go. So this is a huge benefit there that is not even mentioned, that it's really important.
That we shouldn't have mentioned on live camera. Because everyone's going to be like, wait, Rob can do that kind of stuff? I didn't know he could do that. Every time someone learns I can do something for like 6 months, people bother me about it. Anyone asks what I can do, I'm like, I can make water boil with heat.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, Rob can do that, but it's something that you're going to have to pay for. You know what I mean? Like, it is a service of sorts. So
it's not easy to do those things and have those kind of connections. That is not for free. I'll advocate for you, but that kind of stuff, you're going to have to grease my pocket, as my Italian friends would say.
Yeah, comics is a pay-to-play game, and Rob has paid for it, and we have paid for it with our time. So that we're going to give you that and help you to get a step above, and get you in the right networking groups, get you in the right Facebook groups that produce, get you to the people that we need. You know, we're going to help you do that, and for $250, we're going to help you do that. And again, this is not benefit to us. This is all this is doing is getting more books to the creators that are in this project.
And the ultimate goal of this is honestly for us to later pass it to another group that will one day take over for us and continue this going and make it a legacy. That is ultimately what we'd love to see happen as creators, and pass it on. And we're actually going to take a look at the Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies video, because it's Travis's week. Let's all watch this Kickstarter video. It is playing, right? I know Kickstarter's fun.
It's not.
There we go. I like the music. I just wanted really to play it just to hear the music. But I think
yeah, that's a local band. I can't even remember their name right now. Hold on. I borrowed it from local bands. In fact, before Broke Down's done, I'm gonna have a soundtrack. I'm gonna grab a lot of the local bands that I have and put together a Broke Down soundtrack as a reward. It'll be really cool. But that band is called. Give me just a second.
And while Travis looks that up, Travis raised $4,308 through 150 backers. He was on every day. He dragged people like me. I'd be at the gym. He'd be like, Rob, come on. I want to talk about comic books. And we would talk about it. He showed the energy that's needed for a Kickstarter. So if you haven't followed Travis Gibb right now, you're missing out. Trust me, he's got enough people chewing off his ears that he does not need any more people asking him questions. He's one of the guys that are up and coming that you want to be paying attention to. And you're going to be seeing, I know things that he hasn't even announced yet that are coming down the pipeline. And I'm excited for it. So, and then you got the Indie Darling, who will be next week, because he'll be going live on a different Kickstarter too. These are guys who are going on constantly. And even scheduling this, I mean, we could have gone in the fall, but decided not to go in the fall. And I think, Travis, once you mentioned the band, tell us why we didn't go in the fall.
A couple reasons. One is we wanted to make sure everyone was fulfilled. There was a couple people who just finished up their campaigns.
Oh, there you are. Travis,
yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You kicked out. What was the band's name? And go.
Blame the Tyrant is the name of the band. Blame the Tyrant. You can download their music all over the internet. They're really, really good. Most of it's free, so download them. They're a great local band here in Florida. But so the reason why we decided to push it off into the winter is some people had just finished their Kickstarter and they hadn't fully fulfilled yet. And we didn't want anyone to have a black mark. We wanted this to be a clean event. So we needed to either know that you had shipped out or you had talked to your backers about shipping out. So they know where you're at and so they can expect you to get your book. Because fulfillment is an important part of the campaign. And we believe that, and we believe that that's super important. And we want to give you guys the product that you deserve. We want you to test out these indie comics with people who we know are going to take care of you. So if you follow these creators, they're going to take care of you, and that's what we want.
All right, Chuck, we're going to give Travis a few minutes to talk about Dog Days. Do you want to hang out and close out the show with us and see what else is on the show today, or do you got something that'd be?
I'm down.
All right, so Travis, take us into Dog Days. That's going to be coming out. It's exciting. A lot of people will be watching this video before, because if it comes out on the 2nd, we'll just be filming the next Kickstarter talk that evening. So tell us about Dog Days.
Yeah, let's talk about Dog Days. I'm going to message you real quick the link so you can kind of show people some of the art. So here's what Dog Days is about. Well, let me tell you the background. What I love about Indie Advocators is you can talk about the background of a project. You don't have to just talk about, the project itself. We're about making comics and giving you advice on how to make comics better. So this book was a book that was in Evelzine magazine. So they had a magazine. It had a couple of issues that went out. And the magazine went for 3 issues before it took a hiatus. I know it's coming back this year, but the book had some of the issues going through. And I think Rob's showing everyone. Are you showing them live now, Rob?
Yeah. Just tell me if I shouldn't go too far.
No, show them everything. They can see everything there. That's fine. So we did some art. They did some stories. And then the writer quit for whatever reason and wasn't able to finish the project. Marcel Dupree had read Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies and said, hey, you like crime stuff? This is a crime comic. Why don't you come along board? So I did. And I finished a graphic novel. He wrote 19 pages of it. I wrote the rest, which is another 82 pages. So I wrote 90% of the book. And what the story's about is about 2 detectives, Barnabas and Detective Wolf. And what they've gone into a situation is somebody is skinning other animals. They're skinning them and leaving them there. And it's nasty and it's gross. And these guys are trying to figure out what's going on with it. Why is this happening? And we're going to investigate that and go more into this Zootopia world and what it's all about and what's going on. So all the animals have lives and creations. So it's going to be a really cool, dark, it's like a dark Disney movie.
Yeah.
let me ask you, who's the artist behind this? Because this art is breathtakingly beautiful. And a follow-up question to this is, how much of the art did you actually have to play with? Like, how much of this was already pre-made and you were like, oh, crap, now I got to write this knowing that there's art's already made?
Yeah, so I had to write an issue using pre-made art. So to answer that, so I had to use but I did some unique stuff with it. I took that art apart, man. I did some really cool things that you've never seen before. Actually, you may have seen it before, but I did it in a unique way. I used an issue of Ninja Turtles, which is one of my personal favorite. There's a thing that he did in Ninja Turtles that hopefully, if you get the reference, it'll be really connecting. And I'll give no prizes, or maybe even a real prize if you can figure out what I did. So my issue 3 is kind of taken apart for that. The artist name is Ricardo Fassanine. Ricardo Fassanine, and he is out of, let me see where he's out of. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think he's out of Brazil. No, Italy. He's out of Italy. The guy is extremely talented, way above my pay grade. I don't even know what Marcel's paying him, but I promise you it's not enough. But yeah, so he's doing it. But yeah, it's a great story. And this book is drastically different than what I was given. So I was given an outline. I took that outline and I did something completely different. I made it this other world. So this is going to be like my crime meets Neil Gaiman. So you're going to see a little bit of Neil Gaiman love in here, because I love Neil Gaiman stuff and I love fantasy. If you like fables, you're going to really dig this. So there's some cool stuff in here.
Now, this is a full, like, graphic novel. This isn't like some floppy. This isn't, 22 pages. This is a full tilt.
Correct. When you get this book, it's completely done. Everything's done with it. I do have a planned sequel, but if this is all you're getting a full story. It's going to be 100% done. So this is going to be, what's kind of funny is this will be my first complete like mini series before Broke Down. This will finish before Broke Down, just because of the way it worked. This will be done before you'll get the last issue of Broke Down. So you'll get this in hand. And the release date of this for shelf for realtors is San Diego Comic-Con. So the reason why it's kickstarting January 2nd is we need to get the money to print this, finish up the art, and get it all out for San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Do you know what the goal is? I know you're not running it, so you might not know it. Do you know?
I think it's around 6,000. So it's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be a big boy, and I'm going to need all your help, guys. I'm going to need some help. I've got some really cool stuff coming with it. Can't tell you all the details, but we're going to have a lot of the Evelzine publishing. They do a lot of really cool stuff. We're going to have a cover called the Butcher Edition. It's going to be limited to a certain thing. It's going to be a black cover with a severed head and a knife into it. It's going to be really cool.
All right. Is it going to be hardcover? Do you know like the page count? Is this like a hardcover type situation?
Page count is 96. It's going to be 96 pages. Plus, it actually may end up being closer to 100 pages because I've got a lot of little things that I'm going to tie in here. Hardcover, I don't think he's doing hardcover, but I hope so. I really do. I'd love to see a hardcover of this book. So,
well, that's Dog Days. That'll be coming up the next coming week.
January 2nd. Yeah, I really need you guys' support for this.
Well, and speaking of, I've read it, and it's really, really good. Everything I've seen so far is really good. And when the idea was originally told to me, I'll be honest and say I was not excited. I'm not a Zootopia kind of guy, and I'm like, will this work? And I went through it, and I was like, actually, this is kind of badass. Okay, this is really cool. So yeah, the more you guys see from it, the more you guys are gonna read about it and learn about it, the better, because it really is a good book.
Now, Travis, I want you back to 7 Deadly Courses that next week if you have time.
Yeah, I'm sure I have time. Chuck is the editor. Chuck has jumped on to help me out because I needed someone who I can trust to help me get through this with everything. So Chuck jumped on to help me be the editor. And Chuck's right. I would never have written this. Like Travis would not have created this and written it. But once I saw the world and wanted to create it, it was really amazing. And for me, it was so challenging. This is like my first Marvel book, right? Someone had some story written and a universe created, and then I had to take that and do something with it. So I had this many pages. So I had 18 pages that were written of this universe. Those are my 18 pages. Those were solid. Those were canon. the rest is up to me, and I did it. I think I killed it.
It's been really cool because one of the things he's beginning is, hey, the voices need to seem the same from, because issue 1 was effectively done, and then the rest of them needed to be worked on. So he's like, as I have written the rest of them, I need to make sure that the voices are all the same, the story feels the same, everything, you know, it's similar pacing, all that kind of stuff. It's got to have the same feel, and that's difficult to do, man. And so he's really been pulling it off. It's really looking good.
All right, guys. I'm excited to hear about next week. We have one more Kickstarter to look at this week. You want to watch it with me? You want to hang out? We got this is by Tainted. It's by Dean Kish. And if you guys don't know what it is, you're about to know. And we're going to have to turn down the music. Because the one thing that kills me is that people are still using copyrighted music. I love the fact that Travis got the bands himself, but the copyrighted music's killing me. Normally, we wouldn't even show up, but because it's about depression, I want to support it, and I let it run, and I do a narrative on it. Look at the art, though. The art in this is stunning.
Well, I'm going to pretend that there's music.
Dumb, but you bounce, bounce, bow, wow, bounce, 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 bow, bounce, 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 bow, bow, bounce, 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 bow, bow, crash.
Now, is it wrong with me that I actually like her after she gets kind of like dark, and I begin to like her the more she gets into our other side of her personality after going into deep depression?
I think that follows your brand very well.
I think you're missing the purpose of the book, though.
Like, to me, she now looks hotter. She looks more interesting now. She looks like someone I'd hang out with. Like before, not really. Now, yeah. The druid people here kind of worry me. But I mean, come on. Like that outfit, that could be in one of my books.
I think it might be.
It might actually be, right. I have to go back. I think at least part of it was. The really cool thing, though, that the fact that he does talk about depression. And I think, let me see. Yeah, still music. I was checking. Every so often a creator surprises me with the new video. I was hoping that was the case because I did say to remove the music. Because I always like it. I don't know. What about you guys? Do you like when creators talk? Like, one of the things I start a video, and he's like, okay. Remember, you were like, okay, can you make it 1 minute? I was like, I will make it 1 minute. And I spent 25 minutes on the Advocator making it 1 minute. For you guys, how do you feel about that? Is it important to have the creators be on the videos and talking? Like, do you think that there needs to be a face of the project? A voice, at least?
I don't think it has to, but I think I tend to prefer them. I feel like Kickstarter is a fairly personal platform. And so the thing is that you're helping to fulfill someone else's dream. Yes, of course, it's, there's business and all that kind of stuff, but you're in a lot of ways directly approaching your audience and the people who will become your audience, and you're telling them why it's so important to fund this. And I think if you make it personal, it helps it a lot. And I mean, even when you're making your Kickstarter, they give you little sections to write about, and they tell you to get personal, to talk about why this is so important and what's different about it and all that kind of stuff. And I think doing that on your video is a big deal.
Now, you guys, do you know what your full video play percentage was for your Kickstarter?
I can look it up, but I don't know. I can look it up.
I can check. What am I looking for?
Full play video percentage.
Yeah. It's in video plays. If you look under video plays, it'll tell you how many videos you had played. Like right now, the Advocator's had the video played 53 times. And out of the 53 times it's been played, 56% of the time people have watched the entire video. That is for me the highest percentage I have.
That sounds high.
My highest before that was 42%, but that was when only I think 30 people played the video, and that was the last Kickstarter, and that was a shorter video. More people had watched that video to the entirety than any other project, but I couldn't get anyone to actually show up to the page. So it was like even there, it wasn't a true estimate. Usually I'm in the 30s. Do you guys know what percentage you were at?
So I'm at 33.78% with 222 plays.
Yeah. What about you, Chuck? Do you know it off the top of your head?
Yeah, well, I'm looking at it right now. 101 video plays at 41.58%.
Yeah, you generally don't have over 50%, but I think a 1 minute video, like right now, we've had 50% of the plays completed. And those aren't me, because when I'm playing it, I'm in creator mode, so it won't count me doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
I stay signed in so I don't skew the moments. So I mean the percentage and all that. And we have gotten most of our traffic directly from the links on Facebook. So our Facebook is penetrating. And at one point, we're going to have to talk whether or not we want to run ads. I wanted to talk to you about that because you're the marketing guy, but we'll do that off camera because that's a whole different topic if we want to do that.
It's good. It's money. We just got to figure it out.
Yeah. Dan Sheen says, seems like most don't watch the video from the statistics. I do, though, not sure if I need to hear from the creator. To me, someone who's watched probably more Kickstarter videos than the average person, I would think the average person has not watched as many as me and as often as I do. I find the most compelling ones that will win me over as a person is when I hear a person talking about it, because I can hear in their voice how passionate they are. And I won't mention the creator, but Travis, you know who I'm talking about when I say that there have been some creators that honestly creep me out. Yeah. And like they shouldn't have been behind the camera, and I felt like they were actually hurting themselves being in front of the camera. And you know, when Chuck did, I mean, when that mystery person did it, it kind of freaked us out.
Was it the lollipop? Is that what did it? It's good to see you, children.
It's the fact that you had the white van in your video and you were washing it in a white shirt. That kind of turned me off. But
I thought it was for sync.
Sometimes there is a real thing that being the face of the project is a difficult thing. How do you guys deal with that? Like in the last couple of minutes of our show today, how does the pressure of it? Because I know with me, it takes a lot out of me to try to advocate for myself. It's as much as I can do it for everyone else, I can't do it for myself. So how do you guys deal with that? How are you getting along with that? The indie darling and the marketing genius, the indie saint over here that I call him when we team up at tables.
You can go, Chuck.
Okay. I mean, I think both of us, both Travis and I, love to chat, love to talk with people, are very personable and in your face. So the actual art of connecting with our audience face to face is not difficult for us. I think the difficult part always is selling yourself and kind of finding a way to do it without being too egotistical and without, seeming that way, because that's not what you want. And, I kind of have the same thing as Rob, where I kind of hate selling myself, but I love chatting with people. So at least I can get on some videos, have a good time, joke, and just try to be me, because, I'm not a terrible person anymore.
Yeah, I as a business guy, as a marketing guy, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Well, I need to get you to know me. So I presenting yourself gets them to know you. Get them to like you, just be likable. Like, to help them out, do things that are likable. Get them to trust you. That's the hardest part, is getting them to trust you. So they trust you by your actions and how you respond to other things and how you do things. A couple things. If you want to get my trust, you're going to have to have backed another project. I'm going to look at your thing to see if you've backed another project. If you haven't backed another project, I'm not going to back you. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Just, you're not a community player. I'm not into that. Two, you had to have, tried to, if you had a failed campaign, I wanted to see you actually make some changes and not just roll it back up. Because I've seen that a lot of times where people grab their campaign and they just roll it up. And you know what? If you roll up your campaign 3 or 4 times, eventually people get sick of it and they'll fund it just to get it off of Kickstarter. But I really want to see that you made some effort and you understand that it failing there was a reason behind that, and that people were looking for something. So those are the things that I look for and what I think are important.
Now, with that in mind, what do you guys think about when a creator, the two parts of it? We all know it happens. It's probably not commonly known, but creators topping off. What do you guys think about that? Creators topping off their Kickstarters. What do you think, Travis? Does that make you lose faith, or do you just look at it as okay, if they were close enough, it makes sense. Why let it fail?
Yeah, I'm with it. I'd rather you not top it off, but if you have to, or if that's a situation where it's something you need to do, there's no harm in the game, man. Like you care about your project, and it shows that you're willing to invest in yourself. Yeah. And someone who's willing to invest in themselves is going to go further. They're going to do a lot more. So I'm okay with it.
Chuck?
I actually pretty much fully agree with that. I think it's important that, sometimes you have to have some skin in the game, and sometimes you have to show that you're willing to do what it takes to make things happen. I think it's important, though, to do the legwork and try to make it happen. And I sometimes feel like topping off your own campaign is kind of like a slap on the wrist to someone who maybe didn't do all the legwork during their Kickstarter that they should have to make it fun and make it happen.
Now, one thing I found that you guys might not know is if you offer a T-shirt for $2,000, someone will back it and your campaign will fund. Did you guys see that Kickstarter?
That's what I saw.
Did they buy that friggin' T-shirt?
Someone backed it, and it had to be like mom or dad. This was definitely a mom or dad moment who bought a $2,000 T-shirt and actually a signed digital copy. To this date, I want to know how they're going to sign a digital copy. I wanted someone to explain that to me because I'm slow. How do you sign a digital copy?
Well, you know how like on Facebook when someone sends you a piece of art,
that's not signing.
And you can look at it and then you can write on it. I think that's what it is.
I can't take that to the.
No, yeah, they're probably they're probably gonna be like, it could be his, but
and it's not original anymore. Like Stan Lee signed this, so I photocopied it and put it on 1,000 other things. So now Stan Lee is on thousands of my books. I'm gonna put Stan Lee on every inner page. That's it.
I have to say, for the people out there, for any of you that want to do that have done Kickstarters or want to do Kickstarters, nothing turns me off more than when you charge someone for your signature.
Oh,
okay. So when you say, "Oh yeah, the book is worth $20, 25 gets you the signature," I don't care if it's only $5. I will probably not back at that point because it's just pathetic. Now, I get sometimes it's like, "Hey man, we're like with us, Kraken is fulfilling it." So if I had to then get my copies and then I had to sign it and then I had to send it out, okay, I get that. Explain it though. But just $5 for your signature? Who the hell are you? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Jeff showed up and he said a good point. He said if you
I think you're dying on me, man.
Yeah, I don't hear you.
Fulfilled what they said they were going to fulfill. I mean, that is so true. That's a great point because if people are topping it off, are they going to be able to fulfill? Because now they're putting money in they might not even have. I mean, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, and this happens, and I was made aware of this through a friend who said that this is what creators are doing, and I hope this doesn't give people bad ideas. But you could buy a gift card, put $500 on the gift card, then spend the $500. By the time Kickstarter goes to receive it, you never get the $500. So that it doesn't show as dropped. Once your campaign ends, that final dollar amount is what your Kickstarter says it has. But if you guys have had drop pledges, and if you look back, you'll see the number doesn't match up to what the check was that they wrote you.
Yeah.
I had a lot of drop pledges. I had probably 10 or so, and a couple of them were $100. So they were big hits, but it is what it is. I pay for it now, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and Jeff also said as long as everyone gets their comics on time, It is the most important thing. And I don't know if being on time is as important as being forward with your backer.
Yeah.
I'm sure they know what's going on. No backer's ever been like, I don't know what's going on with Rob's project. I update probably a little too much right before we do something.
Yeah.
I let them know if there's even a slight, like we had a hurricane and an actual earthquake affect our production tables for a Kickstarter. And we still got it on time, but I still sent out things telling people, hey, we might be late because of this.
Yeah, I see that Dan said that he automatically backs people who backs him. And I could say I kind of do the same. I do look to see if someone backed me, but it's not the end all be all. You know, if they supported me, like if I could see that they supported me in whatever way they could, I'm cool with that. Like, do your best. Like, I understand people's financial situation.
Yeah, I mean, and it's free to share. Everyone's just got to share. And the final question, and then we're going to be off the air for Kickstarter Talk, and we're going to have Travis on sometime this weekend to talk more about this project in a different way because we want to keep talking about it this week. But the final question for you guys to answer is, what about people who kill their project? How does that make you feel? They don't think they can fund, and they pull the project. What do you guys think about that?
Not a fan. I guess there, you know, you always want to leave some kind of gray area and say, you know, okay, if this happened or whatever, that's fine. But for the most part, it's kind of like pushing, you know, like knocking over the board during a board game when you're about to lose. I have learned so much more from my losses than I have from my wins. And if you're not willing to take the loss, then I kind of don't trust you. I kind of feel like there's a little bit of an attitude there, and I don't want to back someone like that. I would rather back a graceful loser than I would somebody who just says, "Screw this, I give up."
Yeah, same with me. I would back somebody. I'm going to go all the way with somebody to make sure that they're funded. And if they fail, let's fail together. Let's help. You know,
Yeah.
I've had people who are close to failing, and I messaged them and said, "How can I help?" You know, because I get invested in these projects. I don't think it's offensive to say that I, you know, following casework, I helped to make sure he's funded. He was struggling a little bit, and I messaged some people to making sure it happened, and I shared it out and trying to make sure, you know, we are in this together. We're doing that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are going to give up on yourself, if you're going to tank it before it's premature, or you're going to tank it 2 weeks in because you don't have enough money, you didn't do the work, man. You just threw something up there and you're wondering what happened. That's not the stuff. If I see you trying, I'm going to message you. And I know other people in this community who's going to message you and go, "Hey, man, you're busting your ass and it's not working. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we can do to help you." Because sometimes, man, it's just pledge levels. It has nothing to do with how good your campaign is. You're just giving the book away for what you would pay. You go to the comic store, you pay $5. So you want to give everyone their book for $5 and you're going to eat the cost. Well, it takes a lot of $5 books to fund $2,000.
Yeah. Were you around for the first the Lightning Wielder campaign? Because that one like really came down to the wire. And what basically happened is the community, because Kyron Silva is a fucking amazing dude. He is so awesome. He shares everybody's stuff. He's always there for everyone. He's a likable, awesome dude. And for some reason, and I think a lot of it was what you were saying, his tears and whatnot, but it wasn't coming together, and the community went nuts, and you were seeing stuff everywhere. People were up in their pledges. Like everybody went crazy to make sure that happened. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And you know what? If you put the love and you really care about it, the community will step up as best they can.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw it twice for $20,000 projects with both Metal Shark Bro and Chase the Moon. Both of them barely funded. They were all at the end. But it's people who see you doing the work and earning the project. If you do the work and you earn it, you're going to get funded. You're going to get it, but you have to do the work. It's on you to do the work. And then people will back you because they see how hard you're working, because people want you to succeed.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at what you guys are talking about with Saw, there wasn't a lot, like you said, there wasn't a lot of high-tier things. And it is hard. It is hard to Because I think people make this instant mistake. There are two different types of backers. There are the backers who are like oh, this is popular, so I'm going to back it. And that happens. That there's people all involved and there's a buzz about it. And people like to be part of a buzz. So they're going to want to be part of that group when there's a buzz. And then there's the earning it, where you have to earn every pledge and you go out there and you're building your thing. I mean, I literally saw, and Travis showed me this, a book, a comic, like,
Cut off, man.
What was that?
You cut off.
Cut off.
Oh, I said there was that Kickstarter where he called the cards a sexual education tool.
Oh yeah.
And I liked the project, actually. I thought it was clever. But I asked Travis, I'm like,
cut off.
But I mean, that guy raised $50,000 to make playing cards. So anything is possible on Kickstarter. I've been doing it wrong this whole time. I've been making comics instead of playing cards. If I was making playing cards, I'd be set. I don't know what it's going to do with the playing cards, but 50 grand, I can't see a deck of cards costing that much to mass produce. That guy's buying a car.
Or down payment on a house.
No, I mean, well, he's in Italy, maybe. I know they are cheaper over there. I don't think they're that much cheaper. But final notes, final thoughts, guys. Wrap up the show for us. Travis, you're going to be our
I'll go last. Yeah, I'll let Chuck
Chuck goes first because Travis is our guest and Chuck came to hang out. What's up, Chuck?
The Advocator. Absolutely amazing project. If I wasn't a part of it, I would still jump on it and help fund it. And in fact, I did. I wanted all of the covers because they are all badass. I love them all. I'm excited to see all that come together. I, like the rest of everybody else in this group, I'm a fan of these other people, and I want to see it all happen. So I put my money where my mouth was, and I did it. And I didn't just go and buy a Welcome to the Void cover and kiss my own ass. I went and I got a piece of everybody's because I love what everybody's doing. I love what I've seen, and I'm super excited for it, and I really want all of you guys to get your chance to check it out too and enjoy it, because I do know that it is badass, and it is bigger than just a bunch of short stories. All of these attach onto worlds that are so much huger than this book is by itself, and so you get your window into that, and that's just badass.
Now, you wanted to jump on top of everybody? You had mentioned on top of everything. You jumped on top of it at your word. Just asking. You just want to be clarified.
I'm all about jumping on.
He's about to jump on you, Travis. Yeah. All right, Travis, take us home. You're the last.
Well, hold on. Before we do, what can we tell? Since he's on, we need to hear about his story in the Advocator. So if somebody hasn't heard it,
he can tell us next week. I mean, does he really?
All right. Yeah, no, he does. He's on here.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. I'm really excited about my story for the Advocator because it really does make Welcome to the Void issue 0 so much better. And what was awesome was when I sent it out, I got a lot of creative or constructive criticism, and there was little moments where I was like, shit, yeah, I see what you're talking about. And so when the Advocator came around and when Travis said, hey, man, you can use art that you already have, from issue 0 or from whatever else to make it, I went, man, I could literally take the art from issue 0 and I could have someone from the Void talking about what they're seeing and about what's going on. And so that's what it is it's some mystery characters from the Void watching Manny's day as it unfolds. And so you get to see a completely different side of what happened. And I'm really excited for it. Everybody I've shown it to so far, because I have friends, at the bar I work at and the poker games I hold and all that kind of stuff who have become fans. And they checked it out and they were just like, dude, this is badass. Like, I'm really excited about where it's going. And so, yeah, man, I think this little 4-page story really shows you what Welcome to the Void, what its potential is.
Now, of your favorite, What? How about that girl who wrote the book that you told me about that one time? The bartender, a waitress that liked the Fetish Babies book. You have to tell me that story again.
I missed part of what you were saying. What was that?
Oh, I remember you telling me about being at the bar one time that there was a waitress who was interested in the story Fetish Babies. I just remembered her out of nowhere.
Honestly, I don't remember that story off the top of my head. I have no doubt that it happened, but my brain is fairly Swiss cheese. I have had a lot of people, though, talk to me about Fetish Babies. And like I've told you before, I even had people trade me stuff in order to get it.
Yeah, people trading things to get my books. All right, Travis, take us home. It's your turn. You don't have a cool story about Fetish Babies, but I'll let it go.
That's true. I have never traded anything for Fetish Babies. I've been meaning to.
You have that story about, remember the girl who came up and was like, "You exploit women."
Yeah, no, I actually had to choose. I actually had to lose a client to be friends with Rob for Fetish Babies. That is a true story. I did tell him that story at one point. So that's a thing. But that's okay.
It's all good.
So again, if you guys see this video before the end of the night and you back to Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies cover, I will give you a copy of Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies #1. I'll send it to you. Sign it, personalized. If you already have a copy, I'll find a copy you don't have. Not everybody has everything. I'll give you the black and white. We'll figure something out. Get you signed one by Carl, whatever you want. But it's got to be by the end of the night. So make sure you tag that and share that out when you guys are done, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
The special deal. But so here's the thing. The Advocator is the first of bringing Kickstarter to the mainstream. It's allowing Kickstarter to have a voice. It's the books in it, giving it their own publishing company under one brand. This is Diamond supporting us. Kickstarter is helping the Advocator get these titles into your hands and allowing amazing creators. We are leading the way so other creators can come in. So after you're done seeing Chuck's Welcome to the Void, My Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies, Connor's Grimwood Chronicles, Joseph Dusan's Mary Revised, Frank Martin's Modern Testament, and Jamie's Binary Star. We're leading the way for issue 2, where you get to see Brian K. Morris, you get to see Rob Anderson, you get to see Martha do Seed Seekers, you get John Horsley, who's going to do I can't think of the name of it, USA something. It's some new crazy project that's coming launching in February. So there's a lot of cool stuff, and you guys are helping produce this amazing thing. This is not your normal Kickstarter. I'm not trying to oversell it because I'm not trying to raise more than we're asking for, really.
This is the greatest thing ever.
But this is a start of something good. And we're hoping that people can use this to leverage and to get more art into the world, because anybody can afford 4 pages. You can afford 4 pages. You can find an artist to do 4 pages for you to make your art come true, and you can start building your legacy and building your brand. We want to be able to use this once we get this going, that known creators can help new creators come up and grow up and get to there. So we're going to do a lot of things, but we need your help. We need your pledge. Just $1, just $5. It can help a lot. But if you really want to help, Broke Down and 4 Dead Body has a cover. That's $20, and that's the cover. All the other covers are trash. If I could be honest.
I don't know how you can say that. You got the Karate Kid Void cover,
right?
Yeah, I mean that right there, just especially with the Cobra thing going on YouTube, that takes me back to the 80s. You got Modern Testament, which has a beautiful cover. Grimwood Crossing has a beautiful cover, and look at Binary Star's cover. Binary
so hot.
I want to take Binary Star's cover on a date. I really do. I want to take it out. I want to wine and dine it, and I do like the thing. This is the one time. Usually, I'm against alternate covers. I'm like, oh my god, they're trying to take my money away from me. But in this book, it not only made sense, but they're beautiful covers. And I too had to go ahead and back it to get the covers because. As an outsider, because I'm not guaranteed any covers in this, I wanted to make sure that I get a copy of every cover. You know, I needed it for my collection because for those who turned into this Christmas's Advocator, you saw I backed hundreds of comics. And we literally opened, I think, like 50 comic book pledges I had from Kickstarter on Christmas Day. So I want this to be part of my collection, and I have a special box just for Austin. But that's it for the show tonight, guys. We've been on for well over an hour. I thank everyone for tuning in with us. And, of course, we'll be talking to Travis and Chuck more in the coming weeks about this amazing project. And it sounds like their respective projects. Someone's getting a FaceTime call. I think that's Chuck.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I thank you all for spending time with me this evening. I'm going to let you guys head off into the will probably work for both of you. You probably have something to create or something to edit, depending on what you're doing. So enjoy the rest of the evening. This has been another edition of Indie Advocates, where we bring you all the amazing Kickstarters now available for you. We're going to have so many more come January. This is going to be a bigger show next week, but we're still going to. You need to back the Advocator, especially if you're a creator, just so you can be part of a future issue, because you're going to want to be part of this. We have had 15 applications join the next issue. So this is becoming something big very quickly. Thank you all for showing up tonight. And Brian K. Morris said he shared it on Rising Tide. Thank you, Brian K. Morris. Will be in issue number 2.
Yeah, I'm sure he backed this one, or if he hasn't, he'll get to it. You know, he's a good dude.
So this has been an amazing night. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you on Kickstarter.